do, make assignments and just generally coordinate pretty much everything of our campaign. So I want to thank her most of all, and I'd also like to thank all the people who did installed and assembled signs, who managed the front desk, who did the door-to-door and the phone calling, and we still got a couple days to go, and we can't take our pedal off take the pedal from the metal anymore, so we got to keep going until Tuesday. Okay, now we started a raffle at the fair, and today is the culmination of it. And I asked our former chairman, Paul Gruber, to come up and pick the winner. The winner. About a $200 value. I think what we're going to do, we're going to have Paul pick a winner, and if the winner doesn't happen to be here, I'll have him pick a couple more, so that in case we don't get a hold of the winner, that we have follow-ups. Okay, Paul. There we go. I got to raise this pretty darn high. I don't know if I can reach that high.
L. Perko.
Okay, that's he has a phone number there, so we will have to get a hold of Mr. Purple or Ms. Purple. Okay, the runner-up would be
Greg Mellons.
Greg Mellons. Okay. And let's do one more runner-up, and then we'll file these for Glenville. Okay. Well, these here, but they will have to leave us his phone number just in case. Okay, and I want to point out that we have, I saw Tyler here, Tyler Volkalo. I saw Terry Kosma. John.
Give me your hat. Use the mic.
Okay.
There.
Here.
All right. Okay.
In that order.
Okay.
I'm John Dolson, who is who's going to be our county clerk for the next 4 years again. I don't know if Joel Romansky is here today. Joel is going to be our a Republican district attorney for the next 4 years. Also here today is, I know we got our Senator Devin LeMahieu, and Devin's going to take charge of the introductions. Now, however you want to do this, Devin, if you want to say a few words now and see when everybody shows up, and we might have to take a break or something.
No, they're about 2-3 minutes away, so I guess I'll fill for the next 2-3 minutes. Sheboygan, are you excited for Tuesday? I'll tell you what, I'm really excited. First of all, because I'm not on the ballot this year. But remember, in 2 years, vote for me, please. But no, I've been all around the state the last couple months, knocking on doors for fellow senators, for assemblymen, and it's exciting. The momentum, the momentum that's going on in the state of Wisconsin. And I was talking to Carl Table before this meeting today, and I said, because he's sort of the historian of the county party, and I said, have we ever had a sitting House Speaker come to Sheboygan before? A sitting House Speaker in Sheboygan before. And Paul Wright has been in Sheboygan before, but not as Speaker. Newt Gingrich has been in the county before, after he's been Speaker, but have we ever actually had a sitting Speaker come to the city of Sheboygan? So this is an exciting day. It's exciting to have our governor, and it's exciting to have Ron Johnson, who's going to win re-election in 2 days. So. We need to remember to vote down ticket 2. Congressman Grothman has an opponent, so we need to all get out there and make sure we vote for Congressman Grothman to send him back. Congressman Grothman, I think, is maybe one of the hardest working politicians I've ever met. Every place I go to an event, I see Congressman Grothman there eating something at that time. He's everywhere. So make sure that we send Congressman Grothman back. Representative Coxum and Warpoggle, they both have opponents who've been out there working, and it's a crazy year out here, so we never know how things are going to go, so we need to make sure that we send those guys back, because I really enjoyed working with Representative Warpoggle and Representative Coxum over the last 2 years. How much time do I have to fill yet? I can go on for a while. I'll just keep vamping. The choice for Senator Johnson it could be much more stark right now. We've Senator Johnson, a successful manufacturer, just living his private life, providing family supporting jobs. And 6 years ago, he stood up and said, our country's going in the wrong direction. We have a government that's taking over healthcare, that's spending, increasing the deficit, and he stood up, gave up his business, took a step away from his business, and decided to stand up and do what's right, to become a true public servant and try to solve the problems that are going on in Washington. He spent the last 6 years not only working on the deficit, trying to get rid of Obamacare, he's been working for veterans. He's been doing great things for our defense, trying to fight against ISIS and terrorism. So the difference between him and Senator Feingold is just immense. Senator Feingold is a career politician. Senator Feingold doesn't even want to live in Wisconsin, I don't think. After he gets beat, he goes up and teaches in California. So, I mean, the choices is so stark in this. I mean, we need to make sure that we have Senator Johnson back for another 6 years, because it's so crucial at this stage. I'll tell you a story about him. When he was first running 6 years ago, I was the president of the Oosper Kiwanis Club, the great Oosper Kiwanis Club. So it was my job to get speakers in. It was a great year to get speakers. Governor Walker was running for his first term. There was a primary there, a primary for the Senate. So I got all these great speakers to come in. So I got to introduce Senator Johnson the first time I met him back in May of 2010. Then he came and did the 4th of July parade in Sheboygan that year. And I walked in the parade with the county party for Governor Walker, and I came around and saw Ron Johnson standing there. I'm like, oh, this guy, he might be our next senator. So this was 2 months later. I walked up, started talking to him. He's like, hey, you're the guy from Oosper who's 2 months later. Can you imagine a guy who's going to 5, 6, 7 events every day, and he remembered me from Oosper? I was very impressed. And he couldn't remember my name. But then the next time I met him was in October at a rally, and I walked up to him. He's like, "Hey, Devin, how are you doing?" I'm just blown away. I can't hardly even remember my own name sometimes. And there is the guy who's going to 5, 6 events every day, just remembering my name, and that's the kind of care that he brings to his position, the kind of work ethic. And it's a great honor to have him as our state senator, or U.S. Senator. I'll tell you a couple stories about, since I'm up here with a microphone, I might as well just keep telling stories. How much time do I have to tell you? Is anybody here yet? All right. So our governor, our great governor, remember what was going on 6 years ago? Unemployment rate was over 10%. What happened? Oh, there it is. Unemployment was over 10%. Today it's at 4.1% in the state of Wisconsin. 4.1%. 4% we had a $3.8 billion deficit facing our state. Our governor turned that around. We now have the largest rainy day fund in state history. Did you know that if you go onto the Job Center of Wisconsin's website, there are 95,000 jobs available in the state of Wisconsin? 95,000 jobs available in the state of Wisconsin. The governor, as well as some of my predecessors in this, are people here now? Oh, they're not here. I just saw someone standing there. So anyways, I've gotten to know the governor a little bit over the last 2 years, serving in the state senate. It's been a pleasure. But the last summer, on August 8th, when the governor was out running for president, it was a Saturday night, August 8th, my birthday. And I was in my office at about 8:30 at night, actually doing work on a Saturday night, living it up on my birthday. That's how exciting my life is. But also my cell phone rings, and I look and it's a 608 number, and I'm like, who in the world is calling me at 9 o'clock at night on a Saturday night from Madison? And I'm like, well, I have to answer this call. I don't always answer my phone if I don't recognize the number, but I'm like, I need to answer this call. So I answer, and he's like, hey, Devin, this is Scott. I'm like, Scott? He's like, Scott Walker. I'm like, oh, Governor, how are you doing? He's like, I'm just calling to wish you a happy birthday. I'm in South Carolina. I've had events all day. So the governor actually took time out of his schedule to call me at 8:30 on a Saturday night. So we are so privileged in the state to have leaders like Governor Walker, who just cares about Wisconsin, the job that he's doing, the people of the state of Wisconsin, wants to make the state better. And so I suppose I should tell a story about the speaker too, since I'm telling stories. 2 years ago, I was fortunate enough to have then Congressman Ryan, before he was Speaker Ryan, do an event for me. And I also, a fundraising event, and I also had the governor do a fundraising event for me. But that was the first time I had the chance to meet Paul Ryan, Congressman Ryan, and I said to him, don't tell the governor this, but I am so excited to have you do a fundraising event for me. Not the governor, I see the governor all the time. But to have the former vice presidential candidate, the guy who should be our vice president, the guy who then, So he is definitely there to serve our state of Wisconsin. He does fundraisers all across the state to help out local candidates like me. And he's the conservative voice of the nation. He really is. He's the one who's providing solutions, alternatives to our debt problem, to everything that's going on. The conservative voice of our nation. So it's great to have those three men representing our state. We're really fortunate here in the state of Wisconsin. So I think I might be done vamping here for a while. What's that? Oh.
There are 2 minutes out, so I'm going to open up to questions. Yes, sir. The poll numbers, well, I'm sure you saw the Marquette poll. It's trending really well. It's trending really well. I think it's going to be a very good day in Wisconsin on Tuesday. I'm not sure if we can bring Trump across the finish line, but I think it's going to be closer than the 5 points in the Marquette poll. It's all going to come down to turnout. It's all going to come down to turnout and the get out the vote effort. So we have 2 days left. After we leave here today, if our guests arrive, we got 3 hours before that Packer game. So it's a beautiful day outside, so go walk your neighborhoods, talk to your family members, talk to your friends, make sure that they go out and vote on Tuesday. But the numbers are really good. In the state assembly, I think we're gonna, right now we have a 63-36 advantage. We might lose a couple seats, it depends how things go, but we still should have a strong majority in the assembly. In the state senate, we're at 19-14. And we're pretty confident we're going to come back with at least 19 seats. Depending on how the day goes, we might actually come back with 20 or 21. We have some really strong challengers, but we could also be down to 18 if we lose the all-important final like Oshkosh area, the 18th Senate district. So 4 years ago, that seat was decided by a couple hundred votes, about 600 votes. And It was decided by 600 votes, so, and it's an open seat again this year, so it's going to be really close. But that's why it's so important to go out and vote, because it's a neck and neck race for the Senate seat and for Ron Johnson's seat, so it's all going to come down to turnout. But we're feeling really good. Feeling really good. Any other questions? Yes.
What are the chances or possibilities for making the voting times equal throughout the state?
That is in the court system right now. There was a bill passed before I got there that actually did that, and the judge threw it out in August. So I'm sure Brad Schimmel is fighting that in the court system right now. That was put on hold for this election, but hopefully that's why elections are so important. You know, back in April, I was speaking at a Lincoln Day dinner up in Manitowoc, and I said, we have two important elections this year. The most important election for the state of Wisconsin was Justice Bradley, because it doesn't matter what I do as a legislator. If we have a state Supreme Court that is just doing whatever they want and doesn't actually follow the Constitution, it doesn't matter what I do. So that race is so important for the state of Wisconsin. And that's why the presidential race, and especially Ron Johnson, is so important because of our federal court system, because we have federal judges stopping Highway 23 for no apparent reason, just because they can. So I hear our speakers have arrived on the property and are working their way in. As soon as I see someone walk around the corner. All right, they said 1 more minute, so. We do have a conservative judge in the back right here, Casey Hall. All right, so without further ado, I am going to introduce the chairman.
Broken.